Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Congratulations to you, sir. This is week 40. We've completed 39 weeks of this. Can you believe it?
I cannot.
Well, this is another fresh start for us. We are
Season 3
season
of Command and Colors
and
Ancients, Rome versus
that's
Gaul.
right. 5 seasons in a movie, baby. That's what we want. Um, so welcome to you. Welcome to everybody watching this after the fact. As always, I want to take the opportunity tonight, since this is our beginning of season 3, chapter 3, whatever you want to call it, to reintroduce ourselves to you and tell us a little bit about each other. And that way, you guys, if this is your first video with us tonight, this is a perfect jumping on point. If you've watched a couple, in the last few weeks and you just have no idea of whereabouts we come from, well, this is another good, place to start. So,
We're just disembodied voices
that's right.
playing games on the internet for your amusement.
Voices in the ether, but hey, I still contend that as long as marble racing is a thing during the quarantine period, we've got an opportunity here. So I think we're doing just fine. So do you want me to start or do you want to start?
You go ahead.
I'll start. Okay, well,
You're the star of the show.
right. Welcome to Patrick's Tactics and Tutorials. There's the official tagline. My name is Patrick. I guess you figured that out. This is disembodied voice number 1, player 1. I have been gaming for, 40 plus years, I guess, and about 35 of them with this other disembodied voice that you're going to hear from momentarily. I love all kinds of gaming. Wargaming is kind of my current passion. I do a little bit of everything. I love Ancients, as you see here. My other videos that you'll see here on the channel include my passion for the Great Campaigns of the American Civil War series, which is it's had my interest for the last 13 or 14 years. And Combat Commander, love World War II tactical combat, so that is something that is near and dear to my heart. And my room here, the recording room, is full of all the other games on the shelves that sadly well loved but unplayed even in these dark times. But hopefully one day we will get people back together and we'll be able to play them face to face, because that is where we get the most fun, is from social engagement. And like I said, I've known Peter for 35, 36 years now. Quite a while, and it's been a heck of a ride. And 10 months ago we decided, let's start playing Commands and Colors, and let's start recording it for other people's enjoyment. Maybe. We'll see. And you guys have jumped on for the ride, and here we are. I mean, the feedback has been phenomenal. The energy is still palpable. I feel it every week. I look forward to Thursday night recordings, and I am learning just a ton about Ancients that I did not know because of the mutual research and storytelling that we do. So that, I think, has been a benefit to me, and I'm getting from people's feedback that you're enjoying that as well. So we appreciate that. Mr. Peter, tell them about yourself.
Well, my name's Peter. I'm disembodied voice number 2. I have been board gaming for about, I'd say 20 years now in what I call hobby board gaming. Introduced to it by Patrick originally, and then some friends up here where I live. But my first love is miniature war gaming. I've been involved with that for over 30 years, and I've actually even worked in the industry for a while. So trying to apply some of the tactics there to this game. But unfortunately for me, my dice rolling seems to follow me wherever I go, and I can never roll dice well to save my life. So that has been my bane and shall continue to haunt me to the end of days. That's pretty much it. Patrick covered everything else as far as everything else. So I guess let's get to it and kick off season 3.
Season 3, indeed.
Rome versus Gaul.
Rome versus Gaul, yes. And the barbarians. There will be lots of hairy, slathering men fighting for territory here. I think probably what we should do as we start this whole chapter, just to kind of give everyone sort of a primer on where most of this is going to focus. If you own the box set, then you already kind of have an idea what these scenarios entail. But for the most part, I was looking through all of them. For the most part, these will every scenario will have Rome and somebody. I believe the majority of them will be Rome versus the Gauls in one form or another. And then there is a subsection there that is Rome versus the slave revolts and uprisings with Spartacus himself. And we will encounter those down the road a piece. And so it is with great anticipation looking forward to how all of these different little scenarios, because we have not just the core. When everybody thinks of Gaul and combat with Rome, they just think, oh, Julius Caesar. That is going to appear here a bit, but we're going to actually turn the clock back quite a bit, as we'll see in our first scenario tonight with Clusium. And also, if you're unfamiliar with the format, we will go through, each one of us will take turns week in and week out, and we will do a little background research, kind of set up the battle prior to the engagement here, and then the other person will look at the scenario. So for this first week, I have done the historical research, and Peter will be doing the scenario information. And even more so tonight, I think, to set up the entirety of this whole frame of what we're going to be dealing with in all of these battles for this expansion, I want to talk about the geography. Now, one of the things I did not mention is one of my degrees is geography. So I get a chance to go back and revisit some of the concepts of Italy and the Roman Empire at this stage. So I think we should at least make people familiar with different terms that we're going to see in the scenario descriptions and also within the historical notes leading up to most of these battles. At this point, I've got a graphic kind of magically appearing on the screen. And let's talk about Italy proper. Most everyone who is familiar with the geography knows that there is a central sort of spine down the boot of Italy. Everyone can readily identify Italy on a map, I hope. That spine is a chain of mountains called the Apennines, and they run almost directly center up the boot, all the way from the heel into the northernmost part, that is a series of flatlands called the Po Valley. That's named for the Po River that runs east-west, and it flows from the upper part of the mountains there all the way across the northern part of Italy into the Adriatic at Venice. And everything north of that is the Alps that we are familiar with, the chain of mountains that kind of run from Austria all the way to southeastern France. We got Switzerland kind of on the north side and France on the west, and Austria on the east side. And for all of these engagements with the Gauls, it is important to understand who the Gauls are. The Gauls are the terms that the Romans use, but we also know them as the Celts. And Celts are everything from Ireland and in central France all the way down to the northern part of Italy here. And they had two terms for where these Gauls came from. They have, and depending on your pronunciation, some of the professors I've known, they pronounce it as Cisalpania or Cisalpania, meaning on this side of the Alpines. So they have Cisalpine or Cisalpine Gauls, mostly in the Po Valley there. They were sort of in the northern part of Italy. And then you have everybody else on the other side, or the Transalpine Gauls. And those are the ones that are actually the Celts in France that Julius Caesar will engage with more directly in their homelands. And we've got the Helvetii, which are in Switzerland, and you've got the Alemannians, which are way up in Germany. And at one point or another, they're all going to be interacting with the Roman Empire. And the predecessor, the lead up to all of this tonight, is in 390, the Gauls burn and sack Rome. So in 390 BC, the Gauls have their first incursion when Rome was just first getting started. They moved down the Po Valley into Etruria, where the Etruscan Empire was, and they got to Rome and they burned it. And so Rome, obviously, was nonplussed. They were not too happy about this. And so a central tenet in the Roman military development all through the sort of the organization of what would become the Roman Republic was defense of Rome so that it would not fall to the Gauls again. In this case, we jump ahead. The Gauls, after they do this, they go quiet for about 100, 150 years until the Romans decide to start moving into the northern Po Valley again. And obviously, property rights, such as they are in a non-property kind of environment, leads to land squabbles, and the Gauls get reasonably upset, and the Romans start encroaching more and more. And so they start organizing to go at Rome once again, or go at the Roman city-states in the lower part of the peninsula. So what we have here is the organization of the primary force of the Cisalpinian Gauls. They start organizing, but what's different about this attack is they managed to get the forces from the other side, the Transalpinians, and they actually bring them in from the Rhone Valley of France. And these guys, they're even more fanatical. They actually have a term for them that was given. They're called Gassete, meaning these are the spear throwers. So we're going to see a lot of them here in this battle, and some of the ones coming up. And these guys are really fanatical, very wild, and they ally with the Gauls inside Rome proper, inside the Po Valley. And so they start marching down, and at this point, the Roman Republic starts to be wary of this. So they call back their two major military consuls. One of them is in Sardinia, and one of them is sent to the eastern side of the peninsula to kind of guard. So they were afraid the Gauls would come down one or the other side of the mountain chain. And so they had to guard against both sides. And in this case, what happens is they start moving down the western side of the mountains. They are burning and looting as they go, causing all sorts of havoc. They get as far as the town, and this is where there's some debate about this. We have the town of Clusium, or another name for it is the Faesulae. Again, there's some disagreement about where historically this was, but there seems to be agreement that it's within 3 days' march of Rome. So they've made it about halfway down the boot there. And at this point, there's this unnamed praetor who has a military unit. He has managed to kind of sneak around, and he gets sort of into the flank of these Gauls, and he stops them, or at least surprises them enough that they decide, all right, they're going to pull backwards. So they pull back to this town of Clusium or Faesulae, which is kind of outside of Florence that we can think of in the modern sense. And they leave the cavalry to kind of screen behind them, and that's where we see our setup here. Their camps, what they decided to do was try to fool the Romans. And so they left the cavalry itself in these camps, lighting the fires throughout the night to make it look, while the infantry withdrew. What they were hoping to do was set an ambush. And in fact, they gave the cavalry explicit instructions that once the Romans start appearing, then you flee as if they're going to defeat you. And that's what they did. They drew in the Romans. So the praetor here, again unnamed, he pursues and he gets suckered into the trap. And they just set about them. And all we know is from the historical account is the Romans were defeated at this point. The Gauls easily defeat them. We don't know how many Gauls were killed, but we do know that in this battle, at least 6,000, by most accounts, 6,000 Romans were killed. So what we see in the scenario here is kind of, I'm guessing this is another one because the historical accounts are kind of nebulous, where they just sort of set things up. The major components are that camp there in the middle, and the Gauls are just laying in wait to set the trap. So that's what we have. We don't actually have details about the battle other than the fact that the praetor rushed in to try to pursue the cavalry and it cost him dearly. So that's where we are. That's our historical setup. I will let Peter take the scenario information, and we got a few things to talk about tonight, right?
Sure. So before we talk about the scenario, let's talk about a new unit. that has appeared. This is the Barbarian Light Chariot. You can see it up there at the top of the map on the right-hand flank. So it combines all the best things about chariots and warriors. The Barbarian Light Chariot can move up to 3 hexes. Just like a warrior unit, when it's at full strength, it will enter close combat with 1 additional battle die. So it will roll 3 dice in close combat. But once it loses a unit, it will go down to 2 dice in close combat. It's allowed to movement advance, which means if it wins a battle, it can move into the vacated hex and make another close combat. As a chariot, it's always allowed to evade, and since it moves 3 hexes, it will retreat 3 hexes. And if it is caused to retreat by an elephant, it will retreat 1 additional hex for each flag rolled. So there is our new unit. We haven't had too much luck with chariots in the past, so we'll see how the Barbarian Chariot fares. The battle itself is pretty straightforward. Looking at the War Council here, we've got 2 Barbarian leaders, 2 Roman leaders. Both sides are going to have 5 command cards, and our victory condition is 6 banners. And we've got a new special rule tonight for this battle to represent the sacking of the camps. When a Roman unit occupies the Gallic camp hexes, the 3 of them there in the center where the Gaul cavalry is, they can remove that hex at the start of the Roman player's turn. Not quite sure how we'll do that here on Vassal. We'll just keep track of it mentally, I'm sure. If all 3 camps are removed, the Roman player will gain a victory banner. It says here Barbarian Chariot rules are in effect. I assume that means the rules I just covered here for the chariot's abilities. And we've got some optional setup rules, which I'm not quite sure apply to us in this scenario.
I think it was already set up with the gray Roman blocks, so I think we're good to go. Good.
So I guess I will be taking the Romans first.
Will?
Patrick will be commanding the Gauls, and then after our first battle, we'll switch sides and see if the other player can command the unit as well as the previous one.
So I'm drawing first because I'm going first, so I will draw my 5 command cards, was it? Yes, alright. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, I have my 5 cards. And as always, good luck to you, sir.
Indeed. Good luck to you.
All right. And we have all kinds of... That's what I really enjoy about what I've seen with the Gauls thus far is lots of warrior units screaming, coming, running at you.
Yeah, the warrior unit was one of our favorites in the base game. Like I described for the chariots, when they're at full strength, they'll gain an extra die in an attack.
3 units on the left. And view those 3, of course. And we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, and warriors can only go 1 unless they would enter battle, close combat, so we will send them there like that. And the lights here will have some spears they can throw. So they will throw 1 die worth of spears at your lights, and forcing an ignorable retreat. So that.
Since that unit is supported, it's got 2 other units adjacent to it. It can ignore one of the flags when it's rolled.
There we go. That is all for my opening move.
Well, how shall I respond to this attack?
By running away!
I will order 2 units on the right, being those 2 units there. I'll command my light infantry, advance, and take that hill. Then I will charge in with my medium mounted unit. So when I'm on a hill, it's not going to affect the light infantry units, since they're rolling 2 dice anyway, but those other units, the auxilia and the warriors, would be capped at 2 dice instead of their normal 3 in close combat. going downhill, the dice cap is at 3, and mounted units battling downhill would be capped at 2, which is why I didn't take the hill with my cavalry. So, with that being said, my light infantry will attack. Roll 2 dice.
And I have the option here to evade, and I believe I will exercise that option. So I will set that, and he has to hit on green circles only.
Right, which is all light units normally can hit on anyway. Other more powerful units, medium and heavy units, will actually be able to hit on both the color of the unit they roll as well as the sword symbol. So I've rolled 1 hit, and one of those light infantry units is wounded and taken away. Now I would have liked to have attacked with the cavalry, but now since the infantry chose to evade, and I've no longer got a valid target, my turn is done. Well, let's see if taking that hill was prudent, or if those warriors are going to sweep in and attack my cavalry. Cavalry.
Cav.
Mounted units.
Right. I just say calves. Alright, so we will do a line unit. And it will be those same 3 units again. And they can only move 1 hex. So we will do that, and that, and that. Alright. So, starting here, this unit, as Peter mentioned, because I'm fighting uphill, I am capped at 2 dice, even though I would have normally 3. However, I get the benefit of having an adjacent leader, so I will get you'll hear me say, leader bonus. So this is 2 dice plus leader bonus, and of course that light unit may evade since he's light.
And I will elect to evade.
Okay.
Because the auxilia units are the only light unit that will also hit with the sword symbol.
Right.
So 3 of the 6 sides of the dice would cause a hit on my units. So I'll choose to evade.
So I'll get my 2 dice, looking for green circles, and getting none of them.
Evading means I fall back 2, so I'll go back 1 and 2.
Right, and I can't do anything else, so I will just draw up, and I will send it back to you.
Order 2 units in the center. Reading those 2 units. And I'll move in to start taking those camps. So a fortified camp normally affords its occupants protection. They get to ignore a sword and a flag. However, that does not apply to mounted units. So even though they are in a fortified position, these mounted units will face the full fury of my dice rolls. However, mounted units always can evade units on foot. So let's see if Patrick will follow history here and retreat with his mounted units as soon as they come under attack. We're rolling 4 dice against that mounted unit.
Okay, so I have an option here to evade or stand. However, I will do that. So I will stand and strike first.
Okay.
So I will roll 3 dice for that medium cav against his medium heavy, or his medium infantry rather. And here goes. I get 2 hits.
All right. I'll battle back with all 4 of my dice. Since I have no leader adjacent to my unit, that means I'll hit when I roll blue triangles, which are his unit symbol, swords, and the leader symbol. 4 dice. And 3 hits,
Oops.
wiping out that unit. Now they have the option to advance, but they won't get to battle again. So I will advance into that camp. Now my other unit, led by this nameless leader, will attack that other mounted unit.
And this one, take the opportunity to evade.
So 4 dice, only blue triangles will count as hits when I roll. So 1 hit. And since he's evading, he'll ignore the retreat, meaning he'll only fall back 2 hexes as opposed to his normal 3.
Strategery.
All right. And I'm done.
I believe we will do 3 units in the center. Those 3. So I'm going to move the warriors into attack position, and I'm going to have Aneroestes move up and join them. And both units will be able to attack that medium. So we'll start with the warriors first. And they will get 4 dice plus leader bonus. And of course you'll get to ignore 1 sword, is that right? 1 sword and 1 flag?
Yeah, 1 sword and 1 flag.
Okay, so here we go. So I can give you 2 hits and that will wipe them out. Exert my option to move into the camp and take on your leader right there. The second battle. So it will be 3 dice plus leader bonus. And 2 hits. I will now make a leader check, see if we kill his leader. And we do not. Barely.
You had to roll 2 leader symbols to kill a leader when he's in the unit. If the leader was by himself, we'd only roll 1 die, so he has a greater chance of killing a leader when caught by himself. I'll respond by rolling 4 dice.
We'll take 1 hit.
Normally that would be 2 hits, but since he's in the camp, he gets to ignore 1 sword, so I'm going to take 1 hit. That means in future battles, his warriors only battle 3 dice, and I'll roll 2 dice here to see if I kill his leader. And I do not.
And I am done.
Three units on the right. Those 3.
Interesting. Moving that cavalry out there, huh?
Has been pointed out in the past that I get reckless with my mounted units. Trying to take a little bit more caution for them. I would have loved to have charged your warriors, but even if they take a wound, you'll still get the battle back with 4 dice. We'll make 3 mounted unit blocks. The chances of them getting wiped out, since you have both a leader and you'll be hitting with swords, triangles, and leader symbols, is pretty great.
I believe I will do 2 in the center. Those 2. And I'll move back into the camp. And Aneroestes will make the first attack on these guys with 3 dice now plus leader bonus. Oh, 2 dice now plus leader bonus. Get 1 hit. Here's the leader check. Almost.
Close. Almost. All right. Battling back with 4 dice. 1 hit. And here's that leader check.
And then finally this medium cavalry. So 2 dice with leader bonus. And we force an ignorable retreat.
I will not ignore it. I'll take it.
Okay. So we now have the ability to pursue, and I think we will. And now we get our full complement of 3 plus leader bonus to the same target. And we get 2 hits.
Didn't think that through.
And here's...
All right, now the leader is vulnerable, so Patrick will only roll 1 die to see if he falls.
Here we go. He does not. He falls back. Right. And I could pursue again, but I couldn't battle another time, so I'm just going to stand right there at that spot. So I am done drawing up.
Attempt to outflank you. Those units.
Peter is demonstrating the flanking capabilities of your light units.
All right, we'll start over here on my left flank, where my auxilia will engage your mounted unit. Roll in 3 dice here and get 1 hit.
And we will fight back with 3 dice plus leader bonus, getting a hit.
And then my infantry will follow up, attacking as well. Since they are battling out of a camp, they're only going to get to roll 1 die instead of their normal 2. And get nothing.
And we will battle in back with 3 dice plus leader bonus. You get nothing as well.
All right. Up here, battling downhill, attacking your barbarians. So normally I would be rolling 4 dice for a medium infantry unit, but going downhill, they're going to be capped at 3. I get 1 hit. All right, and I will get to see if I get his leader here, and I do not.
Now we battle back with 2 dice uphill plus leader bonus. And get the exact same 2 light hits. Well done, dice roller.
All right, and then the unit will attack as well with 3 dice.
Really wants those green circles. Okay, and here's...
and I positioned them that way, thinking if I did well against the warriors, I would go after the lights.
Right.
So...
All right, 3 dice now with leader bonus, and we get 2 hits. This is tricky, very tricky, but I guess this will give me the most bang for my buck, so we'll order our medium troops. Okay, those 5. All right, so I think we'll do 1, 2, 3, get him out of harm's way. He will come up there. He will circle around here. And he will attack. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Aneroestes will battle against those lights there with 2 dice. Would they like to flee?
No.
Okay. Alright, so here's 2 dice, plus leader bonus. And we get a hit.
They don't get a choice. Oh, wait, no, I get to ignore a flag since I'm in the camp. So I will ignore that flag. And I'll take that hit, battle back with 1 die, and get nothing.
And these guys will go against your auxilia with 3 dice. Getting 2 hits and a retreat. They will advance. Yeah, they'll go after them again. 3 dice. And get them. Alright. That side. And Concolitanos will go after your medium cavalry here, which has the option to evade. And he will. So here is 3 dice. Triangles only. Come on, triangle. Oh, no triangle. Alright. And that is everything for mine. Alright, so you now, at the beginning of your turn, I believe you can just click shift. Yeah, I do shift click and we remove that camp. You have sacked the camp successfully.
Interesting. That makes this decision a little bit easier.
Go, pikemen, go.
All right. All units that are adjacent to the enemy can attack and roll 2 additional dice. That's only going to be 2 units. Those 2. All right. So this will be 4 dice going into that camp. You'll get to ignore 1 sword, which doesn't. I don't get swords anyway, and 1 flag. So cumulatively, you'll get to ignore 2 flags. So here we go. A hit.
Okay.
And then 2 dice for the leader, and he's fine.
We battle back with 2 dice now, plus leader bonus. Nothing.
All right. Battling downhill, capped at 2 dice, but we'll get to add the +2 bonus, so that'll be a full 4 dice going after those leaders and barbarians. Here we go. So a hit and a retreat.
Right. Take the hit.
2 dice for the leader.
2 dice back uphill with that leader. And we get 1 hit.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Alright, we will do... I think it's time to activate light troops. Alright. So this barbarian chariot comes screaming up here with 3 dice coming. The auxilia are going to move there but not battle. These guys will... Oops, I didn't mean them. I meant these guys instead of these guys. They will move 2 hexes into there and not battle. And these guys will move up. And these guys will come around. Alright. Shoo. We're going to start up here on the hill. We have hill to hill combat, which is capped at 3 dice for infantries. So here we go. We get 1 hit.
3 dice coming back. Nothing.
The lights down here, same target, up the hill with the leader bonus this time, 2 dice. And get both. And I think they will take the hill. Alright, over here, we will try out these barbarian chariots against your light. And as I recall, they get... Light barbarian, they get 3-1... Yes, 3-1 full strength. So, you are evading. Green circles only, 3 dice. Nothing. And that is all of my attack.
I will order light troops as well. I don't have a 5th unit to activate. Okay.
Swarm! Swarm!
First, that auxilia. We'll throw spears uphill at that light infantry unit. They moved 1, so that means they'll get to roll 1 die. And get nothing, because range combat only hits on symbols. 2 dice against those warriors and their leader. And a hit.
Nicely done. Give me a leader check. And now battling back with 3 dice plus leader bonus. 2 hits.
Okay, over here, 2 dice against the cavalry.
I think they will stand.
Okay. They'll take a hit.
And they'll battle back with 3 dice. And get 1 retreat. We'll stand. Oh, you're going into the lion's den.
Indeed. Here we go. 1 lucky die.
That is a very lucky die. Look at you. All right.
Tide's turning.
All right. Let's see what happens to
Now
Aneroestes.
roll 1 die for the leader.
Oh! I've always hated you. All right. Well done. Would you like to advance? And yes. Well, well, well. Got ourselves a game. All right. Order our light troops.
The card I wanted to see.
There we go. Those 5. I think that's it. That's the only move I'm going to make. All right. We'll start here into the camp.
Camp to camp.
Camp to camp. So 2 dice.
I'll ignore them both.
Dug in like an Alabama tick.
Yeah, I'll roll 1 die back. No effect.
All right. This battle chariot is still at full strength, so he would potentially be 2. What would you like?
I'll stay in camp.
All right. 2 dice. 1 hit. And finally, the auxilia there. Stand.
Stand.
All right. 2 dice. And ignore. All right. Got over here, hill to hill against your praetor. We'll do 3 dice. Getting 2 hits.
Ooh.
And here's the leader check. Oh.
3 dice in retaliation. Ooh,
The leader.
a hit.
Okay. And we'll take that hit and 2 retreats. And then finally, what would that light?
So that's where, if this is your first time watching, you notice normally we're only hitting on the symbols that match the unit we're attacking. Leaders are the exception. When a leader's with a unit, when you roll the leader, that counts as a hit, just like the sword symbol does.
Very effective use of those leaders for that bonus. You have an option there, light to light, coming down the hill, throwing pebbles and other.
I'll
We'll get a leader bonus.
yeah, well, you're rolling 2 dice. I'll evade.
Okay, so green circles only. And that is all. Alright, so you now have destroyed the second camp.
Okay. Send our medium units into the fray. mounted combat. So you cannot flee from this. You can only flee from heavy force. So 3 dice. A retreat, though.
Is indeed a retreat. So, go 3 hexes for the mediums.
Mm-hmm.
May
The
pursue.
horses will pursue, make it to normally advance, and they can move an additional hex and battle again. So they will do this. And attack that auxilia unit with 3 dice. And get nothing.
There's 3 dice back. And get 2 hits.
Alright. Attacking that unit hilltop to hilltop, 3 dice with a leader.
I believe they will evade.
Okay.
Hit.
Good evade. That would have wiped them out. But in this case, they'll only take 1 hit and retreat from the hill. Alright, well then the cav will go after the warriors.
Okay.
And there you
Kill him dead. Alright.
go. 1 die for your barbarian leader.
And
He's fine.
I'll just fall back to the auxilia there.
Do I risk it? No guts, no glory. Advance +1. Go after those lights. Now with leader bonus.
You'll evade.
3 dice.
Take a hit.
Take a hit on your way out. All right. Did I overextend myself? Let's see. And I certainly even things up.
Do 3 in the center. Those 3. So there. And then the other 2 will just stand and attack.
Okay.
Right, so here you have the option to evade, which you will. So 4 dice looking for a triangle. Got a triangle. They will not advance. Auxilia here. We'll go after your medium cav there. And looking for a triangle. 3 dice. No triangle. Battle chariot versus light. Alright, so it'll be 3 dice. Green circles only. Get 1. Okay. That is all.
3 units on the left. Those 3. A named centurion will join that mounted unit.
So technically he would have to, the mounted would have to go where he's going to go, and then he would get there, because he can't join one and then move with them.
Okay.
But I see where you're going, yeah. So he could just march up there with him. Yep.
This is risky. This could. I'm probably gonna lose right here. So, all right, going after your auxilia with 2 dice, with leader bonus.
3 back. There you go.
Yeah, I knew it as soon as I moved. I was making a mistake. Oh well.
Right. So typically we have a little recap here after the first game. Then we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back, switching sides. So what I had perfectly set up a double time, but
Of course you did.
well, but here's the thing: when this warrior unit was here, that's what I needed, and you drove this one away and broke that chain, so I could not use it effectively because everywhere else is just a scattering of cavalry. So you delayed the double time very effectively without even knowing it. Because that one
And
that
then
one
someone
lets
else wrote.
the warriors go up to 3 and must battle. No, this one it's odd having lots of terrain again. We're used to just very Spartan, no pun intended, plains of just getting in there and lines killing each other. This one requires a little more finesse and using the section cards with the terrain. It was fun.
And between the hills and the camps, no one was really ever rolling their full complement of dice a lot of
Right,
times. So
right. We'll take a quick break and we will be right back. Back again with round number 2. We have switched sides here.
let's see if I can be as effective with the Gauls as Patrick was. I will start and draw my 5 cards.
And I will follow suit.
I don't think I've ever had a hand like this before. That's very interesting.
And you lead us off.
Hmm. 4 on the right. Being these 4 here.
Starting heavy on the right flank. I will see that aggression. Alright, so the 2 light units will just fire into the camp. And this medium will whip around there. And I have to refresh my memory about forest. Let's see. Units battle
So it's
into
just
or
going to
out of
cap
with...
out at 2. Yep, cap out at 2 dice in close combat.
Okay.
So
That's...
advantage light units in the
Yes.
forest.
Yes, indeed. Alright, so we'll start here. We will throw 2 javelins at your medium. Getting nothing. Moving down the line, same, 2 javelins. Getting nothing. And then finally, the medium cav will give you a chance to vacate that forest.
I think I'm okay with when you only rolling 2 dice.
Okay, so here we go. 2 dice. Nothing.
And I will battle back with 2 dice. Get a hit.
Sappers. Alright. Back to you.
Alright, gonna do it. Gates of the camp open up.
I was sitting there going, he only has the battle chariot, and then I realized, oh yeah, it's those medium calves. Wow, that's awesome.
Let's see. maybe not.
It's definitely
Okay.
bold.
It is definitely bold.
Now, what
All right.
order are 2?
Let's start with the chariot first. So the chariot normally will roll, did we say 3 dice, I believe?
Yeah, so it's 3 plus 1 now.
Yeah. So
I am going to definitely evade that, because we don't want you rolling up that line.
So 4 dice. Here we go.
That's good evade.
All right. Well, I think we'll switch tacks here. And we'll attack over there with 4 dice. Getting a hit.
Okay.
1 hit. Just 1.
Just 1. Give me a leader check.
Ooh, close. Not quite.
They will battle back with 4 dice and a leader. Getting 2 hits.
Attack seems ill-advised. Same target, 4 dice. Ooh, 2 retreats.
And we will ignore them both. Because I am supported on 2 adjacent, plus I have a leader. So I can ignore both of those. Battling back with 4 dice and a leader. And get 2 hits.
And 4 dice there. A single hit.
We'll battle back with
Oh!
2 plus leader bonus. And get a hit and a retreat you may take if you wish.
Nah. What a shame. What a shame. Those are the bold, reckless actions that viewers have come to expect from me lately.
We will do...
If they had worked, it would have been the greatest tactic of all time.
That's right. That does seem very, very Gaulish that they would have the gall to do that.
I see what you did there.
That's right. Okay, so we will do those. All right. So, we will do this one against your medium. He's evading, of course. 3 dice, looking for a triangle. 4 dice, excuse me. 4 dice, triangle. No triangle. Okay, moving down the line. Same. And that will be that one. And 4 dice, looking for a triangle. We got a triangle. That will complete my move.
Don't want to press your advantage?
Oh, of course. Right. Yes. I forgot. I will do that. And go after him. And 4 dice, looking for 2 triangles. We get 1. And now I will complete my turn.
Mm. Mm.
3 in the center. That one. Okay. Evading. So I've got 3 dice now. Looking for a triangle. Got 1. Advance. Go after that one. Okay. 4 dice now, looking for a triangle. No triangle. Alright. That is all.
Warriors attacking.
Alright.
I will be rolling 4 dice.
That's very effective. They are not to be trifled with, these hairy men.
All right, and here's a leader check. He's fine. Forced to retreat. They will advance.
Activate 2 units on the left. Just move there.
Right? The auxilia can't attack when they move too, right?
Correct, yes. And the light...
But your light infantry still can
They
attack.
could, but they're not going to. So I will just yield to that.
Attacking that Auxilia with 3 dice. Don't get to ignore that sword.
Oh, that's right, I do. That's right. Okay. So 2 dice back. And 1 hit.
Fortunate. Three dice attacking them. Well, you don't get to ignore that circle.
Nope. Okay. And then 1 die back. Getting a hit. Okay. So we have destroyed those 2 camps. To leadership any section. Do those. He will fall back. These 2 will fall there. Okay. Start with the Auxilia against your warriors first.
Okay.
3 dice plus leader bonus. Getting a hit.
3 dice coming back. 2 hits.
Alright. These mediums into the camp. We'll get 4 dice plus leader bonus.
3 because of the camp.
Well, it's battling out, but battling in's normal. But you get to ignore the sword and the
Right. Okay. Yep. All right. So 2 dice coming out. Nothing.
Okay. And then finally the Praetor against that unit. So full 4 dice plus leader bonus. And 2 hits. And we will not advance.
Warriors at full strength with leader attacking that Auxilia with 4 dice.
Boo. Keeping it interesting for the home audience.
I'm trying to. Going after the Praetor. 4 dice. 1 hit.
Alright, check that leader. He's
And
good.
leader's fine.
Alright, 4 back with leader. 2 hits. Here's the check on Aneroestes. He's good.
Those warriors attacking the same unit. 3 dice. Just 1 hit.
Alright,
Done.
check that leader. That's good. And 4 back with leader bonus. Wipe him out. Do a coordinated attack. Those 3. Come around there. Praetors are going to just attack. Okay, so we will start with.
Yeah, I would have done something completely different with that move.
Let's go against your chariot there. You do have the option to evade.
I'll stand.
Okay.
Because the chariot, it gets to ignore sword.
Okay.
So I'll stand.
All right, 3 dice. Here we go. I'll give you an.
Ooh, but cannot ignore a retreat.
So now we will advance Move 1 hex. Battle again.
Okay.
So target that. Alright, so 3 dice here. And double retreat. Gotta take 1. Okay. And I think we will advance to there. Okay. No other targets. So I'm done. We are going to stand.
3 dice against your mounted unit.
Okay.
With leader bonus.
Go for it.
I'll do it.
Do swords count for them? Because they're a light unit.
Yes.
Boo!
Oh, yes, they do.
Boo!
Yep.
Alright.
And they can advance and attack again. Hello, Praetor.
Hello.
3 dice. With leader bonus. 2 hits. I'll take it. And the brave Praetor flees the battlefield. Auxilia, battling out of the fortified camp with 2 dice. A retreat.
And you had a light that could throw there if you wanted.
Oh, yeah. So let's do that. Nothing.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's that.
I wouldn't be so sure of it. It is knotted up after all.
I'm looking at my hand and
Yeah, I'm looking at my hand.
so basically, my tactics are now dictated. Seems the cards want me to focus on one field of battle and one field alone.
Mm-hmm.
Guess which one that is. Here's a hint. It's not the 2 I've been using.
Yeah, yeah. So that means that I have to I have to follow suit with what the cards are telling me with my last unit here, my mounted unit. Going to there to attack Concolatanus
Can't do anything about that.
with 4 dice. Charge!
Kick it in the face.
1 hit.
Right. Make that leader check.
Halfway there.
So typically, warriors have a special ability where they get an extra die. They lose that when they take a hit, but that does not take effect until their next full turn. So I'll get to battle back with my 4 full dice here.
That's right.
And I'll score
2 hits.
2 hits.
All right.
All right.
Wow. That just got interesting.
Yes, it did.
We will evade that.
Okay. 3 dice. Only triangles will count. No triangles to be had.
Activate our light troops. I've got 4. So there we go. He will pull up there. He will go there. He will go up there. Alright. So this unit moved. Take a pot shot at the chariot with 1 die. Scoring a retreat. These guys also moved. Throwing one javelin at yours. Squaring a retreat. And that is all.
Now, typically, a force would stop a unit from advancing when it moves through it, but retreats don't count. Retreats, you just burn right through that underbrush. Okay. Going after your mounted unit.
We will evade.
Capped at 3 dice, but that's all I could roll anyway. Normally I'd get leader bonuses and swords, but in this case, only needing blue triangles and getting none. So we call that a good evade, because that would have wiped that unit out.
Okay. Do a line command. Right. So, taking some pot shots into the camp. Here's 1 die. Nothing. Another 1 die. Nothing. Alright. And then this one, 4 dice plus leader bonus. 2 hits and a retreat.
I liked your original roll better.
Oh, you get to ignore the retreat, so yeah, 2 dice. 2 hits.
2 dice to battle out. A hit.
Alright. And that is all.
Three dice hill to hill with leader bonus.
Okay.
A hit and a retreat. 3 dice coming down the hill with leader bonus.
I will evade that.
Good evade.
Do leadership in each section. Be those 4. So back up on the hill, and we'll just throw some spears into the camp with 2 dice. Getting a hit. And let's see if we can't finish that. It's 4 dice plus leader bonus. Gets him. He will advance in. This Auxilia against your Auxilia. Hill to hill. 3 dice plus leader bonus. 2 hits.
Same thing coming back at you.
Ooh,
3 hits.
Look at that.
Keeping the game interesting.
Oh,
Keeping it interesting.
Wow. Where's John Madden when you need him? Alright, so the final attack then will be hill to hill. We got 3 from my medium plus leader bonus. Here we go. A hit and a retreat. And we will pursue and try to knock him out with 3 dice down the hill plus leader bonus. And there it is.
Good game.
Yeah, good game. Pursue you to the ends of the earth. All right. So now at the end, we do our final thoughts here, and we do our kind of final score to see how things go. We'll have the magic scoreboard come up. I think tonight the Gauls took it So, what are your thoughts here on this scenario tonight as we kick off the Gallic Wars?
Now, it seems, at least in this scenario, the Roman advantage that we've enjoyed in previous fights has felt like it was neutralized.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so obviously, this was a trap for the Romans, and I think this scenario played into that, neutralizing a lot of Roman strength. Their heaviest, hardest hitting unit is on that back line, and never in both fights never got into the battle.
Right.
Um, and the Gauls can move pretty quickly to advance with cover and with terrain that can neutralize um, the Roman dice advantage.
Right.
Both games, the Romans only managed to wipe out two camps. The Gauls were able to hold on to that last camp. Um,
Yep.
so I knew next turn I had to win because otherwise, even if I couldn't wipe you out,
The
or if
camp.
you
Yeah.
didn't win, you were going to take that last camp and get your final banner.
Right.
So
Right.
it was going to be all in for me as well.
But I am impressed at how close both games were. Even switching sides, I think that's a testament to the flexibility of. I mean, even when you and I were both looking at our hand of cards, going, "Oh, there's just nothing here." It's trying to just eke something out of nothing in one particular section of the battlefield, even if it's like picking off a wounded cavalry or just trying to make a bold and daring move. There seems to be like there's something that both sides can do. Um, and on paper, when we see the setup, just all of those Gallic warriors just poised for charging. It can be intimidating, certainly, but yeah.
I had an interesting hand this game. I started the game. All I had were move order unit cards, a full hand of them.
Really.
No unique cards. They were all, order 2 units right, order 2 units center, order 2 units left. And I burned through all my right and center cards. And so when I made that comment, I literally had 4 order units left cards and a counterattack
Oh,
card.
certainly. Well, I mean, I was in the same position because I had used all my center, and look, I got my. It was telling me to go right. Plus, I had the charge, which was just the one unit there on the right. I had a move, fire, move left, which was not going to be very effective, I don't think. But I was holding that first strike, just waiting for the right
Ooh.
for the opportune moment. But you denied me that, so good on you. I think this bodes well. This is going to be a lot of fun going through these Gallic scenarios, especially with the variety of terrain. I mean, we had 3 different terrain types just in this one scenario alone, so it's a little more mathiness in our heads, but there are advantages to each one of those that can be had.
And this expansion introduces a new terrain type that we'll probably see later on, the marsh.
Oh, okay,
So that's going to be exciting.
yeah, because
Um,
Europe.
it has a paragraph of rules, so
Oh yeah, yeah.
that'll be fun.
I was on the
Get to it.
commandsandcolors.net site today when I was doing some of the early research and starting this particular section. It had the special new unit, which was the barbarian battle chariot, and then the special. I guess there's going to be a special Legion 10 later on for the Romans that has some special capabilities. I'm guessing it's like the star band. Um, so yeah, we're gonna have a lot of neat stuff that's gonna pop up, and as you would expect this is the now second expansion to the base game. They are starting to flex some of the different scenario nuances. I think it's not just lining up for battle and going, it's capture specific objectives as we saw here tonight, hold them, destroy them, whatever. So there's some very tactical choices that you can make for each of these scenarios. When you did that first charge, I thought, well, I could go after the camps, but that seems like a lot of work just trying to move those units up. I was just trying to mop you up mostly at that point.
Yeah, that was probably ill advised, but thought I was never gonna get a better chance
Right.
to exploit that card. So
Well,
I might have been smarter about it, and I probably should have just moved everything to the far left and kind of and wrapped around a little bit and just chewed up that end. So instead of throwing myself, piecemeal against that entire line.
well,
So
yeah, I think uh, that chariot there was in a good position to do that, but I had the ability to evade, so that really blunted the ability for you to just come down that line, which is what I fully expected
right,
to
but
happen.
that's why I'm saying I should have gone and wrapped myself around
Oh,
that
right,
end line so
right,
you wouldn't have those opportunities to evade
right. Yeah,
instead of hitting the line, full on and attacking each unit piecemeal.
right.
So, and I'm sure someone will be watching this and will have made that realization before I say this here at the end. And
At 42 minutes and 11 seconds, worst charge
hindsight is
ever.
the greatest general.
Right.
So,
That's right. But for, as a spoiler for anyone who's not gone back, in our Hall of Fame dice rolls, we've seen 4 green circles, we've seen 5 red squares, and then over 2 consecutive attacks, we've seen a total of 7 banners. So anything is possible in the world of commands and colors.
all
By
right.
by your silence, you agree.
Indeed. Indeed.
You're taking all of
Well,
that in. For the first time here in Chapter 3, we would like to invite you all to click the subscribe button and give us a like on this one. Give us some encouragement here on this first one. And we will love to read your feedback, and that's what the comments section below is for. So give us tactical advice, give us corrections, because I'm sure we missed something here or there. And if you have questions, we'll be glad to answer them as well. And if you're new to Commands and Colors completely, run, don't walk. You can go to the GMT website. They're on the 6th or 7th printing right now, and all of these expansions have been rolling off the presses. So grab yourself a copy and find a family member that wants to learn about the ancient world. This is a great starting point for you. So, other final thoughts for the good of the order tonight?
I've already looked ahead to next week, and it's going to be a corker. So
Awesome.
looking forward to that one.
Great, great. Well, you are doing the research on that one. I will prepare the scenario information, such as it is. But thank you again, everyone, for joining us here, and we will see you all next time.
Good night.
All right, good night.